Hello, YouTube friends and fellow speakers for the dead. I am Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you once again from my home on the road. Today I wanted to make a quick video and talk about a development which has just broken in the last day or so. I first heard this news from the High Council. Actually, I believe it was the Fandom Menace that talked about this. That was the first I'd heard of it. So I wanted to make a video on it as well because I couldn't believe that this was actually a thing, that this was a real thing. I thought that I was being punked. I thought, but the YouTube guys that I listened to, I thought, no, this cannot be real, but it is. So to lead this off, before I actually tell you, I mean, it talks about it in the title to this video, but before I actually get into the in-depth announcement, I want to talk a little bit about what preceded this. Now, have you guys ever heard of Robert Pattinson? Now, if you're a teenage girl and you haven't heard of him, then you're not a real teenage girl. Robert Pattinson was cast and played in the 5 Twilight movies as Edward Cullen. In my view, the 2 main characters for that series, Edward and Bella, which are the character names, one was played by Robert Pattinson, who's obviously Edward, and then Bella Swan was played by a plank of wood. Sorry, I don't remember her name. Kristen Stewart. Who could forget a performance like that? Oh, Edward, I love you so much. Please be mine forever and ever. I want to be a vampire so that I can move my face one day. Oh, yes, Bella, I love thee. Let me count the ways. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. Anyway, that was the performance they gave through all 5 movies. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything there. And they were awful. Robert Pattinson looks nothing like what Edward is described in the book. And I'm just a full disclosure here, I love the Twilight book series. Now, I realize that most men that are hearing me say that are going to go, what a puss. He's like a girl. No. I like anything to do with vampires. And I loved the books. Okay? Not the movies, the books. The movies broke away from the books way too much. And they suffered greatly because of it. Now, Hollywood does that a lot, and it usually suffers because they don't follow the source material. And the only one that followed the source material was probably the least popular book, the one I liked the least anyway, out of the entire series, which was the second one, New Moon. It's kind of the slow, it's the one that kind of plods along just to get you to the next part of the story. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not the best of the books. And the director that did that, I don't know the guy's name, he actually made a point, and I remember watching the makings of that movie, just on the DVD that I'd seen, that was his whole plan. He wanted to stick as closely to that book as he possibly could, and he made a great fit. I mean, that was the only one that was really worth watching because it followed the book almost line for line, bit by bit. Now, they cut out some stuff, but like everything that was in the movie was in the book. Now, with all the other movies, that's not the way they are at all. They waste the chance to show you why these two like each other in the first movie, which was directed by some chick. I don't think she'd ever even directed anything before. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, but I want you to understand that this is my opinion on why I don't like Robert Pattinson. First time we ever saw him, he was in the Harry Potter films. In, I think it was the Goblet of Fire. He plays Hufflepuff. I can't even think of his character's name. But I mean, in that movie, everybody's like, oh, he's so cute, oh. And he's not, okay? He's not cute. He's not good looking. He's not attractive. I don't care what all the girls in the world say. No. I mean, there are other guys out there way more attractive. Here's my inner gay coming out. I apologize. But he's just, I mean, he's just average. I mean, it's like me having all the girls in the world fawn over me. I'm average, and in fact, now that I'm older, I'm below average by a lot, I think. But I don't look like a plank of wood. I actually have some emotional range, and I can talk about things. Robert Pattinson, I mean, he was cast perfectly with her, Kristen Stewart, because they both had the acting skills of potato chips. Just awful. Just horrible performances. Ruined those movies. And they could have been good. They could have been great. Now, it's a love story, so guys, you're always going to be like, grow up, guys. Love's a part of reality. Anyway, this is Robert Pattinson. So, given that as the background, he's ruined one of my favorite series, and he's been in every forgettable movie. I mean, they were running off a list of credits of what he has done. I don't know any of the others. Nobody knows any of the others, because he's just he's a nothing actor. Nobody cares. And so the big news is surrounding Robert Pattinson today. Now, why does Brian care about this? I mean, he obviously doesn't like Robert Pattinson, right? I don't know Robert Pattinson. I'm sure he's a perfectly decent human being. But as an actor, no. He's a B character at best. He's a background character. He should never be put in the front of anything. Except someplace where you can't see him. That would be a great place for him. But anyway, why does Brian care about this? Well, that's the big news. Robert Pattinson, the British plank of wood, has today been cast as the next Batman. What? Oh. When they cast Ben Affleck as Batman, I thought, wow, we have hit the bottom of the barrel. I didn't like him as Batman. He made a terrible Batman. And I mean, it wasn't just his fault. The Batman scripts that he got, the Batman versus Superman, and then Justice League. Wow. I don't know that anybody could have saved the Batman in those movies, because they made him use guns. They made him somebody who he wasn't. And anytime you destroy the characters like that, you ruin it. Here he is shooting guns, and anybody who knows anything about his backstory, he hates guns. He never used guns. At least not that way. Stupid. Idiotic. Anyway. But now it's Robert Pattinson. Because Ben Affleck didn't trash the role completely and culturally destroy it for all time, so they brought in Robert Pattinson to stab it to death. Good job. Good job, Hollywood. Yeah. Can't wait to see who you cast as Superman. Maybe we can get Orphan Annie. You know, little redhead girl from Orphan Annie? I'm sure she's transitioned to a guy by now, right? Because everybody in Hollywood's transgendered now, right? I mean, you gotta be. All right, that's the thing. That's the popular thing to do, guys, now. So, I mean, they gotta cast her as Superman. Or, I know, let's get Michael B. Jordan. He's black. He's not white. Let's get him to play Superman. Superman's never been black. Now, nothing against Michael B. Jordan. He does a good job in the films I've seen him in. But he's not Superman. He's never going to be Superman. Not because he isn't a super guy, but he's black. The character is white. Stop changing things that don't need to be changed. There are black superheroes, and that's great. I have nothing against black superheroes. Not one thing. But you're ruining everything that I grew up with, and that most of us grew up with. You're just twisting it all around, turning it inside out. And then And then today they drop the new Batwoman trailer. It's going to air on the CW. What a train wreck of psychotic feminism that trailer is. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. I'm not going to link to it or post it because, quite honestly, it'll destroy your brain. I've seen it 3 times now through 3 different reviews, and every time I get just a little bit dumber. Anyway, that's the big news. It's over. All right? A society, it's over. It's all done. The earth is going to explode. It's done. So let's all just leave. And, last person, turn off the lights when you leave Earth, okay? All right. But seriously, what the hell? Every day, there's something. There's something. It's like these psychos never sleep. It's like they're robots who sit up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, thinking of ways to ruin stuff. How long before you run out of stuff to ruin? You've ruined Star Wars, you've ruined Star Trek, you're ruining the DC universe, you're going to ruin Marvel because you already started with Captain Marvel. We all know what a peach he is. And it just continues. Those are some of the things I love the most. Apparently, they're destroying Game of Thrones. That's full of social justice nonsense, and then they've completely destroyed the characters in the last season. Now, I don't care about Game of Thrones, other than the fact that a lot of people love it. A lot of people love this stuff, and you trash it. Another perfect example. Peter Jackson made 3 of the greatest films ever made in the Lord of the Rings series. He made them back-to-back, consistent, great acting, great characters. For the most part, he followed the book as best he could. I mean, they changed some stuff for Hollywoodisms, but realistically, they followed the story. And then they made The Hobbit. Now, The Hobbit has a special place in my heart. It's the first book I ever read. I love that story. It's a great story about somebody who's small being able to do something he didn't think he could do. Had adventures, went and did these crazy things, and inspired his generation, the next generation, to go and do the same thing in The Lord of the Rings. And they took The Hobbit, one of the greatest sci-fi fantasy stories, not really sci-fi, but fantasy stories of all time, and converted it into 3 money-grubbing crap shows. They added a bunch of crap into the story that was never in the books. They made it all about action scenes and explosions, and the story just got left on the cutting room floor somewhere, so that we could have explosions and extended scenes and black arrows that were not the way they were described in the book. I mean, nothing in that movie, almost nothing, follows the real storyline. It's like you could cut out 90%, 50% of every one of those films and make a decent Hobbit movie out of it. But you'd have to get rid of all the crap with the white orc and the goblins that look more like a leper colony than a scary group of Middle Earth creatures. Hollywood, you suck. You suck. You ruin everything you touch. You make great things, and then people come along and crap all over those things. Star Trek Discovery, I won't watch it, because I know enough about it to stay clear of it. It's the same reason I did that with Game of Thrones. I'm not going to get invested or try and get invested in something that's just going to crap all over my expectations in the end. Now, I don't care if they do stuff different in these stories, if they try and change the stories and make them better, but they don't make them better, they make them worse. They fill them full of crap that they're not about. And they kill characters that were created by geniuses and visionaries. And they come in, and these soy boy losers destroy these things that were created by giants. These guys were creative giants that did this stuff. And these little midget maggot pukes come in and take those people's visions and destroy them for their own petty political points. we're going to change the world. Yeah, into what? You're changing it into a place nobody's going to want to be in. Why do I make this video? Why is Batman such a big deal? Because it's a cultural icon and they're trying to kill it. They're trying to change everything so that you don't remember why you love this stuff. They want you to love it for their version, the twisted, psychotic version that has no morals and no decency and no reality to it. That's what they want you to do. They want to corrupt all this stuff so that you have nowhere to go for heroes. They're even doing it with the Bible. Look at that Noah movie. Hollywood used to make films like The 10 Commandments. One of the greatest films ever made. Ben-Hur. Great film. And you made Noah. Rock people. Rock people are going to come and get the bad guys. Noah's a psycho who's trying to kill his own family. Now, I didn't watch that movie because I saw the reviews for it. And that was enough. You're trying to destroy one of the greatest prophets in the Old Testament. Is there nothing you won't crap on? I know the answer to that. There's one thing you won't crap on: Muhammad and Allah, and that's one religion you don't touch. You don't touch that religion because they'll kill you if you do. Christians, you can make fun of them all day because they have to turn the other cheek. They have to be decent people. We don't. But they do. Isn't it nice to have a double standard to cloak yourself in so that you can attack people who just want to live and don't want to attack you back? But you make them the villains to everything. Jews, Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, anybody who isn't a Muslim or godless heathens who don't believe in God at all. Well, welcome to the new reality, everybody. Guys, we're going to have to start making our own movies, doing our own stuff. That's why I'm doing this. So I can vent. 1, 2, I can get people surround me to hopefully try and move forward to change this stuff. Get on YouTube, like and share these videos, my videos, other people's videos, and call this stuff out for what it is. Because we have to care. Not just about Batman, but about all of it. And we have to fight back with our dollars. Don't go see this stuff. Don't support it. Don't watch it. Tell them with your feet, vote with your feet, that you're not going to be part of this crap anymore. And that we're not going to take it. And that they can take their crap and stick it where the sun don't shine, because they sure as heck ain't getting our money for it. That's the only way to stop this. Stop listening to them. Stop letting them win when they pump out this crap that you don't believe in. Get up and walk out of the theater. Don't buy their popcorn. Don't buy anything. Don't just sit here and take it. We don't have to. And we don't have to let them win. We don't have to be violent. We don't have to be mean. But we can sure as hell tell them by walking away, we're not taking your crap anymore. So like this video, share it, support other channels, help us here on YouTube, keep this a free speech zone where we can say what needs to be said, talk amongst ourselves about what needs to be done, and support each other. Because that's what this is going to take. I try and support the other guys that I see on Facebook trying to do this, and I hope you'll do the same. I know this isn't a very fun video, and for that I apologize. But sometimes you got to really buckle down and just call this stuff out for what it is. It's time to end this nonsense, to stop it once and for all, and to tell them, we're not going to help you anymore, destroy our culture. Because America's culture, the Western culture, that's the only reason you people can live the lives you live and have all this stuff to destroy that you have. Because you're standing on the shoulders of giants. We all are. And we need to stop trying to chop away at the feet of these giants and to destroy everything they left us. Anyway, this is Brian, the Speaker for the Dead, calling out to all my other speakers. Come on, come and follow. Come and be leaders. Lead yourselves. Join in the conversation. Get involved in YouTube and in other platforms so that they see that we outnumber them and then stop silencing our voices, because if you silence our voices, we'll go somewhere else and create something that will crush your little teeny social justice companies. Make them want to be part of us and not part of them. That's the only way to win. So I hope you have a great day. Keep the faith. Stay positive. Call out the nonsense as you see it, and we can win. I hope you have a great day, great night, great life, and I'll see you next time.